I don't think that filmmaking from a human is ever going to go away.
You take away like the message and like the heart that's gone into a project by just solely using something that is soulless.
If you see me doing this halfway through and getting up and checking the cameras, don't panic. It's because I'm a one-man band and these things are fucking... I'm pushing them to their absolute limits, like 4K, everything, you know what I mean?
I've done the... years ago, I remember like we were at an expo, A6400.
Oh, mate, what a belting little camera they were.
Phenomenal, right? Yeah. But you couldn't like, you put them under T-spotlight, any form of lighting in a conference area, bro, you've got 40 minutes max before you're like, you're taking battery door out, trying to like so it cools down, blowing up back the camera.
Those little MPF batteries
tiny
as well.
Ones, blow it, oh, bro, yeah, those never good.
Yeah, then the A6500 came out with the IBS in the actual...
I moved from to FX line because
it's from the 6400, that's a jump in
because it's got, I have Blackmagics in between, but like...
Yeah.
In the Sony terms, Sony hierarchy, just because FX line have got fans built into them.
Yeah.
But I've seen on Amazon they release like you can get like fans that click into the brain now to cool the back down so it doesn't overheat.
I need to get one for the A7S3 because like even though it's still, in terms of small and compactness, it's probably the best. Like for your value as well in low light and all that, it cannot stand up to heat.
Oh really?
Yeah, it can be a bit.
Yeah, look, You'll be on the cinema line now. It's a Blackmagic awesome, a massive little thing.
The new Sony Cines are small as well, aren't they?
Yeah, the FX line, the one I was shooting.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely tiny. But then you get, I mean, I'm a sucker because I end up rigging things out to be, so you end up with a body this big and your rig ends up like this big.
Yeah. I just started adding attachments to mine now and it just looks like a beast now. Like,
Transformer. You're like, oh, this looks proper now.
Like, and you know what's funny as well? You can turn up to a job with one of them and be like, people are like, he must know.
He must know what we always laugh with matte boxes. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the matte box.
The amount of times I've had to use a matte box to flag something off, I don't even remember the last time I actually had to do it. But if you turn it to a job site with the matte box on, people go, he knows what he's doing.
This guy's legit.
Not really, just put a matte
box
on
most of cinematography and videography is just blagging it, really.
A lot of it,
yeah.
A lot of it. I think, a lot of it's like, especially when you're working on, there's two terms that I use. Like especially cinematography, like DOP set stuff, and then there's like videography. Mm-hmm. And I think I probably even a minority, but I think there's a definite line drawn between both of them.
Of course, yeah.
Videography for me is, I don't know, I'll use James. James, who owns Barbers Down Road, he wants a hype video made. You can turn it with a matte box and rig that camera, and he goes, "Oh, you're well worth your money." You don't have to do that, but
I kind of categorize videography as somebody who films, edits, conceptualize, run and gun, literally like
the whole package.
The whole package thing, because it's like you're making a video, and it's like start to finish. Whereas cinematography for me is somebody who is very well versed in their technical skills of filming. Like
I use it as like you're bending light, and then oftentimes you can offload that to, an editor or a team or a production. Like your dailies are going off to somebody and they're processing that.
I mean, you can still be both, but cinematography is the art of filming, whereas videography is like
the full round package.
Yeah, like being a builder,
Yeah, you can kind of put things. I completely agree.
So I kind of like, learned my trade, like running around like nightclubs and stuff, doing nightclub videography, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had my photography degree, and I thought immediately, I've been out of uni for like 7 years, right? So I graduated, and I was like, I'll just get a Sony 5D Mark II. That's what I used in uni.
You'd be all right.
And it's like 15 years old at this point. And then I just can't believe that I got so far with that Canon.
I think that like especially cameras, I'm a sucker. Anyone that knows me, it'll be like, right, I want to change chopping change gear time. I want new we start talking new lenses. I truly believe even stuff like that. One of my dream cameras, and it's easy to get, 5D Mark III, because of what it looks like. Phenomenal camera. And I'm like, I'd push it to the absolute max and what I can do with it. I truly believe that you don't have to have like the best kit. It's just really nice, and it makes your life so much more easier to have the newer kit. Like I said, dual base ISOs, having something you can shoot in low light. Those old Canons, it's Dino who's cranked out to the max of DaVinci to try and like secure your footage.
But don't get me wrong, right? I think a 5D Mark II because they used the 5D Mark II for like Inception and stuff like that, you know, because of how good it was at the time. It was like 2008, and it was just so easy to throw around and to destroy because it was cheap, you know, for Hollywood. But I think if you've got a 5D Mark III in the right conditions, filming in C-Log, because you could actually, there was like almost like a jailbreak software thing you could put on the Mark
Magic
II.
Lantern.
Magic Lantern.
Magic Lantern.
Yeah, and you could put C-Log on it and stuff like that. So
I remember I put Magic Lantern on a camera, and then I think I traded it in. It must have been like Harrison's or somewhere, and then like they must have like I used to get into Magic Lantern is double click the recycle button to get into like Magic Lantern to open up, and I think they did that, and they were like, don't think we can take this. Like, obviously not going to do it. Like, you're flashing the firmware, aren't you? And I'm like, I don't know. I bought that second hand myself. I don't know where that came from. But sorry, Harrison's. I don't think they took it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. 2 years ago, like cheeky Ash did that.
Yeah, funny. But the like Canon colours are undefeated, aren't they? Still straight. If you were to go raw out of a camera, so say you had Sony, Nikon, Fuji, Canon.
We're talking just video.
Just video, right? Raw out of the camera. Which one would you use?
Just my workflow now. This is super controversial because I only currently work in S-Log 3.Cine. I'd be looking at S-Cinetone on a Sony because I think straight out of camera, it's such an easy. There's not hardly much post-processing.
I think those Canon colours are just iconic though.
I think Canon colour for me on photography has always stand out more. Like my partner had like an M50 and I had an old, I can't remember, it might have been a 5D at the time. I moved over to Lumix and I'm like, you just can't replicate Canon's colour on skin any other camera. I do think it is perfect.
Yeah.
I've not really seen that in video, but I've not had much experience in using Canon for video.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Up until, I mean, recently, the Canon C50 and the C70, C80, phenomenal cinema rigs, like the stuff that they're producing now, in terms of like what it looks like.
I almost got a 1D once.
1D.
After watching National Geographic with it filming in the
I'm going to say it's Peter McKinnon, it's Casey Neistat, isn't it? Like they're
almost
1DS. I think Peter McKinnon used to run around with.
Yeah,
oh my god, that guy must have biceps like anything.
Literally, like, and I was like, do I get this? And I got the Sony A7S II instead, and I think that was probably the better buy at the time for what I was doing.
I'm such a Sony fanboy. Like, there's that debate online. Like, you choose. It's like, I think it's like drills or tools. Like your Milwaukee, your DeWalt, your Ibauer. Whoever, which tribe you choose, kind of like
defines what you do. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm cheating recently. I used to be Blackmagic, which I think's again phenomenal. I've been looking at Canon again last night, and it's like, I think I'm just addicted to looking at gear. It don't make me a better creator at all. I just love gear.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love gear. And I have no brand authority whatsoever. I will have whatever looks cool and what produces it.
It'd be nice to have like a sponsor, wouldn't it? And just being like, never having to buy your gear again in full G Master set.
Yeah, Sony ambassador. Sony it is up, do you know what I mean? Sony ambassador work.
Not a sponsor. Mate, you can end up just going down this infinite rabbit hole of like looking at things, trying to optimize your rig is one thing because that's a game in itself. But then you're like, sorry, that was getting on my nerves. And then you're like, but 1.2 to 1.4, that's such a massive jump. And then you show it to someone and they're like, I can't see any difference. And you're just like, it's only you that notice it because your eye's so good. And you just got to get what you get and get good with it. I always give people this advice. People come to me and be like, Lee, I want to buy a camera, what should I buy? I'm like, buy the most expensive thing that you can afford and then add like 200 quid to it and get it on finance or something, because you need to get something that you can grow into and not grow out of, because you'll just buy again. And trust me, I'd rather have someone like with all this stuff that you don't know how to use and learn it than be with like some low end camera.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree, but then I think also part of me thinks I think a great debate is disagreeing. I think part of me thinks that like the way that we approach content now in our lifetime is that anybody's got a phone in their pocket.
Yeah.
Blackmagic software on an iPhone, incredible.
Yeah,
some of the
best. Yeah, it's really
adding
good.
some ND filters on it. Oh my, it's like some of the best work I've seen on Instagram recently has been off of an iPhone. But I think it really depends on where you want to be taken seriously, and if you want to, like say, grow into your work, then picking something up for me is always an investment. I would always invest in myself, not knowing a camera system and buying it now. It's like if I went out and bought an ARRI system, I ain't got a clue how to use Panavision or ARRI. I'd love to, but nor have I 40 grand, just for the
I feel like
bones.
someone like me and you would figure that out. Obviously, we've got
we've either got the expertise and understanding, or we definitely know somebody in some area that can be like, this is how you do that. But I think you have to grow into your system, and I think it's really learning what you do well. So if you're like a Sony user or a Canon user, it's dialing. They're so intricate in what they can do. It's just dialing down that, and making sure you understand every bit about it. So when you're on set under high pressure situations, and you've got talent and something goes wrong, but only you know it's gone wrong, it's like, how do I fix that quick? So I know you can almost blindly use your camera.
The amount of times I've broken into a cold sweat on a shoot, mate, because
Something's not
happened.
working.
And everyone's around me just nodding. I'm just like, I need to fix this.
Yeah, nobody knows what's happening, and you're like, that mic's not plugged in properly, or it's rustling on his shirt. And you're monitoring audio, and you can hear this. You're like, oh god!
Oh, you just hear it.
Someone's like, fix it in post, and I'm like, don't say those words. Don't say fix it in post, please.
But I guess what I'm on referring to is like the people that ask me to buy a camera are usually complete beginners. People who are like, oh, leave those cameras or something. You know what I mean? A little camera job.
Yeah, who's a camera guy?
Yeah. So I'll always tell him, like, obviously I won't say to him, go get an A7S3 immediately unless you've got $5,000, but I would probably send them towards more of an intermediate than an entry level.
Like a prosumer sort of thing.
Yeah, prosumer to begin with, because unless their intent is to become a professional, then they might as well get something like a prosumer that's going to last them 10-15 years, which is why I kind of give them that advice. And it's fun for them as well, because you've got all these little features and this and that.
I think it's almost quite stoic, I guess. You kind of have to really look at yourself and think, do I want a camera because I've seen X, Y, and Z use one and I want to learn how to use it? Or do I want for it to become my career and I want to become obsessed with it? Because if you don't become obsessed with it and you're not going to live it and really breathe it, then there's no point, in my opinion, spending, like I say, $5,000. You might as well spend something on a bit of lower prosumer level.
Have better lens.
Yeah, have fun with it. Apply better glass, and then realise, actually, I want this life. I want this game.
Yeah,
it can become expensive.
Yeah, of course, but and the only thing you're getting out of, I'm talking purely video. I'm not a photographer, just to clear that up.
Shout out to Matt. Let's get.
Yeah. Matt's the man. Matt and his Rolleiflex, like from the '60s, just producing some of the best work.
I'm not a photographer too, so yeah, let's.
And so you $5-6 you're paying for the better codecs, the built-in like bit rate, like exactly. If you just kind of starting out, they're what you pay like the big money for, aren't they? And like my A7S3, I've had it for 5 years, and I'll probably have it for another 10-15, because we're almost reaching a bottleneck with what handheld can do.
100%. I think we're getting to a point and a standpoint where technology has now become so. We've both worked in marketing, so we understand marketing, and it's a case of these companies now, as much as like you kind of knocking yourself off a brand ambassador role, but like most of these companies now are offering next to nothing. Oh, we've changed the body a bit. We've had a better filtration. It's like, well, I need built-in internal NDs. I need great battery life. I'd like IBIS. Other than that, I've got a GH5 Mark II. That is an upgraded one from the GH5. I still use it weekly, on sets that require it and on shoots that require it. I still use that camera. It's brilliant. Yeah. I throw the 18-35 and I can create most content, and it can match up to most social media things now.
Because of social media, 1080p is still the industry standard, and
most clients I work with are still asking to deliver in 1080.
Because a lot of people don't like. We've got 16K beyond capability. You can get like 8K,
12K pixels,
tellies and stuff. But the standard is still 1080p, because number one, the file jump from 1080 to 4K is mental, especially in 10-bit.
I'm going to say you're talking about file size. I'll let you finish. But wow, yeah.
So you can film something 1080p. It's like you'll have your memory card and you've got it set to 1080p, and it says like 4 hours 57 minutes of recording. You're like, mint. I'll change it to 4K. It's like 12 minutes.
Stick it on like Red Raw, and you've got like
6 seconds or something.
Right. I was upgrading the Ninja 5, the Atomus, putting the SSD into the back of it, and again, cheaping out a little bit, 3D printing my own SSD mount, so you aren't going to buy the Atmos mount.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you can just buy an SSD, you can 3D print the print, and it works. I flicked it to like ProRes, I think it's ProRes RAW the other day.
Does it have to be one of those flat SSDs, the card?
Well, this is the thing, you can do quite a lot of mods with it now, and this is what I think is great about like, Cinema Light, and you can kind of get, so Andy's Lunchbox do one, you can put the M.2s in.
Oh, nice.
So that you can slide in there, you can 3D print, you can get the normal SSDs.
What, like a SanDisk one?
Yeah,
oh,
and just get those, as long as they're the ones that go into a computer, not like your external ones.
Yeah, okay, right, got you.
That's purely for Ninja, but like, I guess it's, that's what I'm getting at, is like, storage is expensive.
Yeah, storage is expensive.
I mean, I upgraded all my cards to the CF Express, and the jump that you're making, read and write files are like 900 megasecond, and it's fantastic when you're going into post-processing. You're not going to wait half an hour to transfer your footage, but file sizes, bro, when you're talking 4K, 6K, 8K and beyond, even these are minute numbers when we're talking like ProRes and external.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, wow, file
I'm
size.
using like V90s still, the V90 SD. They're
still, again,
they're like 230 quid for 256. It's crazy.
And it's only going to be more expensive.
Of course it is. Yeah. Thank you, ChatGPT.
External hard drives, like recording, I love using, especially on cinema cameras like Blackmagic, using external SSDs to record onto. It's so much easier. The file sizes are easier. You can go straight into edit. Like, I ain't got to worry about anything. I can edit off my hard drive, storage space. But yeah, the prices of SSDs at the minute.
I think the price of actually being the price of being a practitioner is going to price a lot of people out. And a lot of people, it's almost creating this feedback loop. People are going to go to ChatGPT for video editing and flyers because people aren't going to be able to afford a laptop to make flyers on.
Work.
It's
like a knock-on effect.
Yeah. So it's almost like it's created its own demand, which is probably the goal all along, wasn't it?
To take over.
You know what I mean?
My partner keeps saying to me, "Be nice to it." I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, be nice to it.
You get better results if you're
T300's going to come after me in 2 years' time. But like, you called me something on that. I was like, no.
That's an interesting debate because I believe that there are people that kind of like, I saw one thing that this woman had fell in love with her ChatGPT and divorced her husband over it and everything, and was so convinced that she'd broken its constraints and programming that when...
Does she also pay for it? Has she got direct debit to it?
Yeah, exactly. And that she was so convinced that OpenAI had killed her person that she created that she wrote like a book about it and everything. And it's like, for me, it's created this other problem where people are like, oh well, I'll just speak to ChatGPT now, or I can speak to an AI and be fine. And I'm like, mate, that's...
I think it's conscious using it. I think that's the best way.
You have to be...
In a creative world, I'm going to be that person who's like, I hate it. Like, I do, but hating it's not going to make it go away.
No.
And conforming to using it in a certain way, like a professional me would be like, oh, okay, well, inside of DaVinci, there's loads of AI tools that are really, help the workflow and take it on. And I think that's, for me, looking at it, is like, actually, I like the tool for using it what it is, exactly that tool. When it becomes, you've seen all these dodgy flyers online, haven't you? Like,
every file looks the same.
They look identical, and that for me is taken away from like designers and artists and illustrators. And it's like, if the end goal and the client's happy with that, cool. Like that's what you want. I don't want to take on that work. I don't want to work with those people if they're happy with just doing that.
Yes, it's weeding out the people who aren't going to pay you anyway.
So, it's the problem clients, the not paying in 30 days clients. I'm sending a chase up in. I'm going to send you to court if you don't pay me, which... Yeah.
That's actually a fairly good point as well, because that definitely... You're right, aren't you? Because I saw this post on LinkedIn that's been doing the rounds. It's like, why are you asking your designer for 30 revisions, but you're happy to take the first thing ChatGPT gives you? Oh. So it's like... So it's like... you're right, aren't you? It is weeding out clients that you might not necessarily want to work with in the first place. So it's giving you this network of people who still want to remain creative and original, because ChatGPT now, using AI to write your copy and stuff, a lot of people who know worth the salt are looking at these posts and like, that's not a brand I want to buy from.
It's not the way that it's not the way that it's like wrote or like. And there's telltale signs. One of those, obviously, the big high. Like, I'm so scared to use like a dash in anything now. You're like, oh, I don't want to use a dash because people think.
But it's more than that, and there's just so many things. You can actually see a ChatGPT post and not read any of it and know it's ChatGPT because of the shape,
the formatting of it.
Yeah. You look at the shape and it's like, it's not this. It's this.
Three things.
It's not about this. It's about this, and everything turns into a big philosophical debate. It's like, water is the water of life. You close your eyes and sometimes you can't see. You know.
Yeah, I think if you do, you're right. The other telltale I've seen is the three thing. Do things in three. So it'll be like, I don't know, sexy, cool, and elegant. And you're like, who speaks like that? But I guess it's copy. I'm not a copywriter, and all props to people who copyright.
Yeah, copywriting is such a skill. It's such a skill.
Yeah, it's a telltale thing, and it does puts me off. It puts me off. It 100% does. So I can see from a consumer standpoint, definitely it'd put people off. I'm lucky that I've not really worked with, I think, anyone I've not noticed it yet that's used certain tools in AI, especially that outward facing tools to like clients or customers.
I think it's really good for things like, say if you're dyslexic, or say you are not too great at spelling, like, or you've written something, and you've written like a big paragraph or whatever, and you're like, hang on, this is a little bit out of order, and you literally give it an exact prompt like, can you please just kind of rearrange this so it makes sense? Do not kind of format it. So you have to kind of
can you
feed
like
it a while.
Contextualize my work, make sure that it reads correctly. Yeah, I mean, I would say I've never used it. Like, using it in a manner, but I think you have to prompt it, and I think you have to use it in a manner that's like, okay, how do I, like, can you spell check this? Can you make sure this is grammatically correct? Can you like help me in a way? Not write it for me. I think I haven't got I was listening to Casey Neistat podcast about it, and it was the same thing. It was like using it in a way of a tool to aid you is like, I think he was saying like, well, it's for it because like that's what it's designed for. Not write me a LinkedIn post, go. Yeah, LinkedIn post based on cameras, go, and it'll just spit out this jargon. You've got copy paste because. Yeah, I'm going to scroll past it. And most people will do.
Most people will. I've seen people on LinkedIn slating AI,
but it's
just ChatGPT, and I'm like, come on now, you know what I mean? Like, you must.
It sort of ruins your credibility, I guess.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Of course it does. Yeah, and you can't get away from it. I had Elise Freshwater Blizzard, you know, the presenter. Have you seen her? She wears like vintage clothes, and she's fucking I've seen her. Right, and she said that you cannot get away from AI because even if you use Google, the first thing is an AI thing.
It's Google's new AI.
New AI thing. So people, you know, using ChatGPT for like, you know, can you give me a recommendation for this? Like, some people are kind of using it like Google, and you know, using it for just constant.
Do you think that's flipped though? Because again, working in and around with marketing people and marketing managers and agencies, like the trend for me last year was a staggering percentage of people were going to YouTube to use YouTube as a search engine. So they're like, oh, I don't know, how to cook a chicken, and it was on YouTube that did it. Whereas like now, 100% what you're saying, I feel like that's changed and gone to be an AI system, whether it's Claude or ChatGPT, and people are using that as a search. Like it's so strange how that mental how that I guess fluctuates and changes depending on what's in. And I think definitely that's in at the minute.
I feel like you're kind of on the point what's going through my head at the minute there with that. Once something kind of comes out, it gets stress tested by pretty much everyone in the world, doesn't it, for years. And now it's become, AI is like now what people are relying on for the most is generative AI stuff for their businesses, and they'll just kind of use it for every purpose that they can imagine. And I think that like using it for Google, you know, that's the term, isn't it? Google, using it for searching something, it sometimes gives you, because I've done it like a few times, and it gives you like a very comprehensive response with links and it's digestible. Whereas on Google, it's like the first 20 are ads.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you're like, yeah. So maybe there is kind of something to using it, but for me, one thing that I just can't get away from is the environmental impact that it's having, and you hear stories of people like living in areas, someone just builds a data center near them, and the cost of their electricity has gone up.
Yeah, well, I think or like water, like the biggest killer thing is must have been a documentary of a farm, and the people who lived at the farm couldn't have to buy their own bottled water. I know a lot of states and places do that anyway. I mean, I'm guilty of buying just bottled water now, but they can't use their own taps or their wells in America because the water is either run so dry or that it comes out of their taps and it's just murky brown sandy water, and that's almost like a byproduct of these data centers. So you worry about, I mean, it's a bigger issue, isn't it? But we worry about the planet as a whole anyway. Like even today and this week, how hot it is. This is not normal for the UK.
Listen, boomers, there's no way global warming is not real. Like, I'm sorry, mum and dad.
Swear. But that's my point. Is like, if you look at that was and it still is a big thing. I'm not saying it isn't, but like that's kind of on the back burner. Whereas like you look at the environmental impact now of AI, what in 10 years are we going to suffer through now? It feels like it's going to be the set of Mad Max or like Dune or something. But like water is then currency. Do you know what I mean?
There's a components crisis, isn't there? So like, not only are we like digging the world more to like make chips and RAM, short of it, that's going up in price. Your next phone is going to be outrageously expensive, like literally everything, and it's kind of causing like everything to just go through the roof, and it needs to stabilize.
Yeah, I think it's conscious using. I think we can't get away from it. We can't hide from it.
But it's like people who litter, isn't it? Like people who like littering and fly tipping. People don't care about the consequences because they're not going to be here in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years.
I think of that mentality. It's such a destructive mentality.
Of course it is, and it's like for people in like the 1980s or like, you know, when industrial boom was like happening and we were just billowing fog into the air, and I'm like, it'll be sound.
It'll be alright.
Like, it's not.
Look at us now walking down the street melting. Like, I'm sure. I mean, even the tram infrastructure like causes issues when it gets above 30 degrees. It's just like we're not. Yeah, I guess you look after it now, else we'll lose it. Like that's the best way to look at it.
And on paper, it's going to be great to have your own Jarvis in your watch, in it, you know, that you can just speak to and ask, and it does all this stuff. But it's not like the Avengers. Like, it's literally like at a cost of everything else.
You've got to think about what the byproduct is of that piece of
and
consumerism, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's almost too accessible now. I remember the first rumblings of it when it was kind of like 2023 or whatever, and it was just useless. It couldn't do anything.
Not learn anything like its language.
No, and like it was generating these videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it was the craziest thing. Yeah. And I was just like, that'll never catch on. Typical.
And then you see it now, they're like full feature
indistinguishable from fucking real life, mate.
Do you know, I genuinely think it is. I mean, like you say, with copy, you can see it. I get onto video because I tend to relate my life around video. It's funny, right? Being a creator. But I almost can see now, and you can see like some of it's, honestly, I feel like my dad wouldn't notice it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, no. My dad sent me meta adverts that are AI adverts, and he's like, "Oh, it's a great advert, that." And I'm like, maybe the message is, but like, you do realise that's AI, right? What do you mean? And I'm like, that's an AI advert, and I wonder if it's creators like me and yourself that can see that. I'd love to hear an audience's perspective on that. Who we can identify that's an AI ad, or if the generic Joe Blogs looks at it and goes, "Oh, that's cool." Like, is that the same way people are approaching these graphic, adverts and posters and marketing, or is it just the creators or people in the industry can look at that and go, "That's AI"?
I mean, I think that good enough is good enough for them. Do you know what I mean? They just want that. It's good enough. They'll be fine. That's all we care about. You've got massive companies using Gen AI, like the UFC, mate, using Gen AI.
Shout out this weekend.
Yeah, and of course, but this is what I'm saying. So you've got the return of arguably, regardless of, I mean, obviously the things that he's done outside of the octagon aren't exactly stellar, but it is the highest paid, most hyped watched everything UFC fighter to ever live, and he's making his return after 5 years, and they used an AI promo.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's him and Max Holloway.
Yeah, I know you're referring to. I've not seen the AI thing, though.
Him and Max Holloway are in this AI promo together.
Oh, right,
and
okay,
it's
wow.
like, and they've done it for a few now, and the guys are just like, they've just got this 1,000-yard stare, like corpses.
I'll have to have a look.
yeah.
The only promo I've seen from it is UFC Embedded, which I think I watch anyway.
Yeah.
Which is great, and there's essentially a bit like a videographer that shot it. So it's quite
yeah,
nice.
it is good actually. Yeah, it's very.
But yeah, I've not seen it. I feel like I've seen FIFA World Cup AI stuff.
Yeah, Cyril Gann and Alex Pereira as well. They had one for their fight at 250, and
come on, Dana.
He was just like, get over it. You know what I mean?
I expect more. They do some beautiful artist. They have some like artist renditions.
Yeah.
I've seen the Holloway McGregor one. That's like an illustrator's actually illustrated it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a real piece of art, and it's credible to the actual event on stage. But I don't know. Now you've said that, I'm like, is it worth waking up at 3 a.m? I don't know. I'm like, maybe it's not.
Sort of, kind of.
I'm gonna. I don't know who I'm kidding. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. Like everyone's gonna watch.
Pay-per-view's already been purchased. Like,
yeah, and it's not as well. These AI promos and videos, which are such high quality, probably cost more than hiring a team. Some of them.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? You still got to have someone to then like.
I really wonder how that process is.
Yeah. I would love to be privy to it and see kind of like, is it more cost? Is it because it's more cost effective? Is it because it takes less time? Is it because I don't know?
Yeah, digging into someone's brain and saying why have you done that then?
Yeah.
Is it easier? Like, well, I don't know, mate. Like, I understand working on set's stressful. Like, working with a lot of moving parts is stressful. Maybe it's that, I don't know, but like, I'd love to reach into his brain or the creative producer's brain and go, actually, why did you decide to do that? And hear them out, because it might be a really, really cool, intricate reason why.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
if it's not just for slop.
It's nothing new. CGI is nothing new. It's just become more accessible, hasn't it? CGI basically, and I kind of like to compare it to vinyl DJing to ones on CDJs. Everybody for a while was calling CDJ DJs not real DJs because they can't mix on vinyl, and then it became, well, the industry wouldn't be where it is now. Like the nightlife industry and DJs and house music and dance music events without the CDJ, because you don't have to carry your 500 vinyls to a gig anymore, and you can have more gigs going on across the world because they're like
travel with your flash drive.
Yeah, flash drive, and like it became like just a lot of more of a bigger industry. But there's still people who just pay just to go see vinyl only DJs. So it's like, I don't think that filmmaking from a human is ever going to go away.
No, I think you take away it's so corny in it, but you take away like the message and like the heart that's gone into a project by just solely using something that is soulless. And it's not digging on AI. I mean, it kind of is, but it's like
it's not a human.
It's taking it. We say that T300 comes through.
Yeah, no.
You're right. And it, I don't know how I feel watching something knowing that there's no soul being put into that. Like it worries me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It does for sure. Yeah.
No humans had a connection to that. No one slaved to.
It almost sounded like I was endorsing it by comparing it to DJing then, but it's like it's definitely not. I'm just saying that I'm trying to use it as an example that manual filmmaking is not going to go anywhere.
I appreciate, like we use Odyssey with Christopher Nolan. Like I appreciate him, his team, his cinematographers had to lug, like it's shot entirely in IMAX 70mm. Like you've had to lug that around, the noise of it. The infrastructure to create. They created a shield to like block certain noises out from obviously film cameras. Like that's blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh, thank fuck we don't have to cut film anymore. We don't have to.
They still do, but okay, that's the greatest revolution.
It's mad. It's like, how far are we allowed technology to make our life easier? Like maybe we're just in that generation now where we're like, that's not real filmmaking.
It's a beautiful topic too, because for me, I really adore film, and a lot of clients I work for are asking for film-esque. I'm constantly looking for shout out De Hansel. Like I'm constantly looking.
There's a reason why
things.
we have all these emulators, filters,
I feel
to
like
go backwards.
I think it's nostalgia too as well. It makes me feel something. Like using a specific Kodak makes me feel something. Obviously, clearly it does for a client and like the psychology of filmmaking. But then again, shout out to another local, Sam Binstead, uses a lot of like Super 8, I think it is, or Kodak film. Yeah. Like that to shoot on film, and like even Matt, you know, any film photographer, like to shoot on film, there's quite a raw. It is emotional. Like
it's humbling.
Yeah, you're built into
it's
that,
humbling.
and it can go hella wrong. So yeah, shout out to anybody that's still using traditional methods in film. Like it's a ball ache to say the least, but it's the passion that comes out of it. Yeah, it's a beautiful ball ache. That's your tagline, beautiful ball ache. It is. It's true, right? Like
that's going on the thumbnail.
I think that's why I love like Quentin and Nolan, is because these guys are championing. Yeah. Like as much as we like, especially Nolan has digital scenes in but I think Quentin, arguably, like again, we'll talk about personalities of McGregor, but Quentin has his ups and downs. It's a bit weird, but it's like that guy won't film digital. All his films are on film, which is almost aspirational. Mm-hmm. But there's a reason behind that because he feels like it's the soul's in it. So
I just love how non-negotiable Nolan is.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to meet the guy and pick his brains, but you are right. I'm doing this and then doing it my way. Yeah. And that's like to be as big as he is in an industry that is so cliquey and niche, and to be like, no, I'm doing it my way. Like,
the thing is as well, like, no, it's hard to be unbiased because I'm a massive Nolan fanboy. I've literally watched all his films and every one. I'm like, do you know
a masterpiece. So like, you appreciate. I think every filmmaker appreciates what he does.
I think like some of his. 1 second, I'll go into this now.
I've got tickets for Barnsley to watch 70mm film in Barnsley. So there's 3 places in the UK doing it: London, Manchester, and weirdly enough, Barnsley. Just like a mum and pop shop theatre in Barnsley are screening 70mm, and I'm like, hell yeah! Like sign me up. As soon as I announced on Instagram, I was like one of the first to buy the ticket. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. So it's not IMAX, but it's film. Yeah. Which is like, I mean, I'm not too worried necessarily about IMAX. I just want to see that how Nolan looked at the direction of like, I want to film 70. Yeah. And I try to explain this to a person I worked with a few days ago. He's another creative, so he got it in the end. But I was like, you're watching IMAX, which is like this, almost like 16 by 9. That's not the vision. It was like, what do you mean? It was like, well, then adds another like 2 inches on either side. You're getting close to it. Add another like 10 inches either side. You're getting close to it. And originally, you look at 70mm, you think this is so wide, and this is what the director Nolan wanted us to view.
It's like large format, isn't it? Like,
yeah, exactly. And then you're cropping it down further and further to fit modern standards. Yeah. It's like you're no longer watching. It's quite elitist. It's quite. I've watched it in 17mm, but like, it is genuinely. It's like I want to watch it the way that he's envisioned it and approached it. So,
what was kind of it's kind of things like that you know, being a film purist that make you and being like a Nolan fanboy, because it's like, oh god, yes, I respect his you know how tenacious he is about stuff, and it's like his films like, because obviously Tenet gets a bit of a bad rap.
Which is also, I actually really enjoyed Tenet. I watched it in a Victorian, like, old building. So,
and then obviously Dark Knight Rises, kind of a bit of an outlier in the trilogy. It's as a trilogy, it's as a whole. But if you watch it on its own, it's a bit like a bit plot holy. And Talia al Ghul's death scene will forever go down in infamy. Where she goes, it's the one, like Mr. Burns, 20 takes, and that was the best one. Anyway, what I'm trying to say
is, if that was on IMAX, that seems like we've shot it now, they've got to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But my point is that you can watch these films and not like surrounded by his others. Because his others are so good, people like me and you are like, these are still good, you know, even though they might not necessarily be.
I wouldn't even class myself as a cinephile. Like, there's audiophiles, like, I can only listen to it this certain DAC or whatever. I won't class myself as a cinephile, but I definitely say I'm on the lines of becoming one, because there's some people I know, cinephiles, like, dedicated to Letterboxd. Like, I'm not going to miss it. If I miss putting something on Letterboxd, like, I've not watched it. I was like, I'll put it on Letterboxd if I remember to put it on Letterboxd.
817, and like people exploiting at 817.
I think it goes above and beyond that if you're a cinephile. It's true. There's someone like love technical specs, and there's someone like, I just watched 10 films today, and it's like, I don't know where I don't know where I fit.
Exporting it at 817 make everything look better though?
Is that a case of a technical? I don't know. Do we appreciate because it's technical, or do we appreciate because what it looks like,
Yeah,
or like
I
what
don't know.
it feels
It's just
like?
crazy. It could just be like the worst thing you've ever shot, and then you put it in an 817 letterbox, and you're like, sick that.
Looks
Fucking mint.
ran out and bought an anamorphic lens, and I'm like, everything looks better in anamorphic now. Client's like, can we have it in like vertical format, please, like 9x16? And
No,
I'm
turn
like,
your phone sideways.
I'm like, no, turn it this way. Like, I envision it this way. I'm having it this way. Like anamorphic everything.
Do you remember that Instagram crop that was like that?
The Instagram meme thing.
Super duper letterbox, yeah.
I can't. In fact, that's great with marketing. That's great at the minute. How I think Instagram have now allowed a lot of things. Me and Matt had a great conversation about 4.3. I'll just say your take on this.
Brilliant.
Train Dreams. I don't know if you've seen Train Dreams.
Let's have a look.
One of like.
Is that an Instagram account?
No, it's a film. It came out probably the start of the year. I fell absolutely in love with it. The score, the soundtrack, the cinematography. It's absolutely fantastic. I think majority of it, large portions of it, I think why I love it is because it was shot in natural lighting.
Yeah.
But it's 4:3:2, which makes it, for me, I don't know why it feels so good.
Oh, it's Joel Edgerton in it and stuff. Yeah,
I think it's because it's nostalgic, and it just makes me feel so. I guess I can hyper focus on it. You know, sometimes, and I'm a massive advocate of using widescreen, a massive advocate of like anamorphic. You can see so much more. It's more intentional. But like a film like that is so beautifully shot and so beautifully done.
It looks amazing. Yeah, I'm just looking at the trailer.
It's kind of like medium format photography. It's like, why is that so cool? Maybe it's because we don't see it every day.
Yeah, I feel like just that little crop has probably added so much to the film, and it also kind of, it's going to give you a sense of time, isn't it? It's going to put it in that like
that era.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it's a long time, like set a long time ago, but it's still kind of, it's a callback, isn't it, to like you know, like Clint Eastwood films, or any Western film you're watching.
I mean, technically, it was the only thing they could do. Yeah,
and it is kind of beautiful that we have the option to go back to it, isn't it? Rather than it's just something that's been left by the wayside.
I think that's what it is. It is an option for us, and we as creatives, we should explore every single option that we've got at our disposal. But then using it in a way, it's a purpose. Do you know what I mean? So it's purposely used, not just because I like it. I mean, that's cool to do. I've done stuff just because I like it, but like if you think the psychology behind it, like I want it to look a certain way, and I want my audience to feel a certain thing, and using that tool to create that.
That postcarding kind of style on Instagram, so good.
Yeah, I did a few a while ago. Yeah, there's a beautiful Manchester-based. I think it's just a creative. I think actually might be a.
Is that the guy with
Salford.
the advert with the trams that are like?
No, I think it's a Salford guy, and he just does like Salford postcards
Sick.
of like really iconic places in Manchester and like Greater Manchester. I'm like, oh, that's really, really cool. It's almost locked off, tripod completely locked off stills. They're just beautiful, just really still moments in a really busy environment and a busy life. To have these like slow down situations, I think as creators we definitely appreciate.
Yeah, and it's what's good as well is just like going out filming that. You can literally film anything. Go to the Botanical Gardens here in Sheffield, put your camera on a tripod for 10 minutes, and then just move it around, bonk it together. Class. Like it's just you know, there's just something really good about.
Do you think this is a good one? Do you think that? Because you say, bonk it on a tripod, and it's right. You are right. Like half the stuff that I've done or do, like of course it's intentional, but I've done it because I don't have to think about doing it. Do you think that we can do that just because we've had the experience and we know how to do it, or do you think that? Because I don't think I couldn't give a camera to my cousin and be like, yo, film that, because it'd be completely different to what. Yeah, and I think because we have that understanding, it is easy for us to plonk it on a tripod.
We're in the unconscious competence stage of our careers, though, where as in every time we touch a camera, it's technically correct. Technically correct doesn't always necessarily mean creatively sound. Like it might not be, you know, objectively good, but we're at least technical about it. You know, tripod, rule of thirds, everything is just so natural for us and completely innate. We can't help it.
So almost just flows out of me. I've wondered that for a while because that's why it's so good to talk to other creators, because I wonder, is that just?
I don't know how to do it wrong anymore.
I couldn't. There's certain things in my workflow that I couldn't write down.
Yeah.
Because I just do it.
And the stuff that I know that is technically sound, but I don't know why I do it as well.
Yeah, because it's a long line of things like that's actually the right way to do it. But I can't explain
why.
that. Yeah, I can't explain
and
why. And some people would argue and be like, "Oh, you don't know that."
That's the difference between a creative and a technician. You know, because some technicians are just like they know everything to the letter, why they do it, this and that. I mean, I'm just like, I just saw some guy do it, so I do it.
It must be right because I kind of like it. I think that's what it. Again, the psychology of a creative is that if you 95% of the times, if you think it's right, it probably is.
Yeah, exactly.
And because it's art, nobody can tell you differently. Exactly. Nobody can say to you that what you've created is not good because it's art, and that's what it is. The bottom single line drawing in the sand, it's art, no matter what you create.
But there's things that I should be doing that I don't, and one of them is like a fucking show reel, man. A show reel, some sort of portfolio, like. Just even if you're in a very like stable job like I am here, right? It's super like amazing work environment. I'm not just saying this because I'm on camera, because I've got enough work experience to know now that this is an excellent place to be. You should still have a portfolio, and you should still kind of be creative, because it helps you improve your current work as well. Because if you're doing stuff like that, external work that's going to be like, I don't know, you're just going out filming in Sheffield, for instance, to make little short films. It's improving your work in work.
I think you've got to be very like selective. So for creatives that are out there that don't have that body of work, I think even before you turn up, I use set as like, it could be anything. You can be working at barbers or videography, whatever. Like before getting those clients and those jobs, you need a solid foundation of body of work. Mm-hmm. And that can be anything. Like, say, going out botanical gardens, you shoot in. But then having a place to put that. For me, that's always been Instagram. Like, I preach to people that it's so important to have, like, a website and a show reel. But 95% of the people that I've worked with and come across in the last year alone has been LinkedIn, has been Instagram, and that's my body of work. And I treat it like that. You ain't see me putting photos up, having a pint during World Cup on Instagram. It's just not what I do. It's like, it's great too, isn't it? It's like have one that is personal for you, that your family and friends photos and just whatever, and then have a second that's a body of work.
Or like me, every time you get a little idea at 2 a.m, set up an Instagram account for it and never log into it ever again.
I think I'd say we're all guilty of doing that at some point.
You're like, this is going to be my Dragon's Den moment. I'm going to wake up in the morning, it's going to have 1 million followers, because as soon as people realise how amazing and like this idea is, and it's going to be groundbreaking, and then you just never ever look.
Never touch it again. Never touch it again. The importance of making notes, though. The importance of doing it. Yeah.
And so like how are we getting the motivation to like work? Because while I was still freelance, I had that much work. It was literally all through word of mouth. All of it. I was like, see something on Facebook, someone would tag me on Facebook, or I was just networking, getting emails, and I believe you've done work with this person, can you come over here and like do some of this? I had that much work plus a full-time job. I had no time to do a show reel, and when I applied here, I kind of had to find all of my work across the internet and kind of put it together.
Mash it all together.
And I was like, I really should have just had a portfolio. I had a full-time job. It's like, but I should have just done a portfolio, because you never know what's going to happen. And it could be like that we need to approach an external client with something.
You never know who's viewing your stuff and having it accessible.
Plus, me having an amazing portfolio is a good thing for the business, because if somebody goes on it and says, well, this guy's the head of content at the James, wow, his portfolio is amazing, they must have known, you know what I mean? And it's not just about doing your portfolio so you can kind of get work or whatever. It is literally so important.
It's like you walking down the street with having like the James on.
Yeah.
Like you're representing X, so you'll do it to the best of your ability.
How motivated am I to work for the James that I make my own, I can still do my own stuff and it'd be brilliant. That's and you know what I mean? That's how good the work is. Like, I think that it's a testament to your environment, do you know what I mean? So maybe when I was working as a full-time freelancer, I actually wasn't as motivated as I thought I was, because it was a little bit, like we were saying before, you sometimes price yourself out of jobs so you won't do them, and then when people say yes, you're
like, oh God's sake, I've got to go do that now.
Oh my God, it's 3 times my normal rate, woe is me. But what would you recommend? How would you get people motivated to start filmmaking and making a portfolio, even if they're not professionals, or they're not getting paid, or they're just starting out?
I think if you're inspired about like film, and you're inspired about like YouTube and creators and short form, I think then you'll naturally fall into it. And it's probably a really crap answer, but like you'll naturally fall into creating and want to make things. I'm guilty of myself, but I think if you're so passionate about a subject, just go out and film it, and it's pushing past that boundary. It's almost like the gym. It's like, you know how good the gym's going to make you feel after you've been there.
Yeah.
It's the same thing and the same mentality as creating something. So if you're like, right, today, and it's set yourself those micro goals. If I want to create a film today about the gyms, one, access is a big thing within our industry. You know, preaching to somebody, you might get and you might not. But regardless to access.
Well, just on that point there, us giving Matt access to the dining room for his series is actually giving him the ability to create that series because of the spaces in Sheffield being so few and far between. So yeah, having that access is a massive point.
Yeah, a great key thing. But I think the biggest thing is, if you have an idea, contextualize that idea, whether you write it down, bank it, make an Instagram account and forget about it, just almost capitalising on what you want. And I think deep down you'll know in your heart and your soul, if you want something so bad and you want to create something, you want a great body of work, that you'll go out and do it. And if you don't, and you think you do, that's okay. It just might not be the right time in your life to do that. I think honestly, I think if you're burning desire to make a film, you'll go out and make that film no matter what. And that's how I'd approach my body of work.
What if you say you're someone who's you're entrenched in a certain industry, and you're like, I can't do this anymore, I've not got the legs for it, and maybe it's just not for me anymore, but I still want to be a filmmaker. How are you going from like, all of my previous work is X, Y, and Z, but I want to go and work in this industry filming this?
I think you're preaching to choir, because you might even know, like, even from my own Instagram, like a lot of my stuff recently it's been tailored to sports, because I'm so fascinated about athletes and pro athletes and sports in general. And it's difficult.
We know in ourselves that we can point a camera at anything and make it look good, but it's just getting that across to a client. Because I remember, like, a couple of years ago, I applied for jobs in like Amsterdam, America and stuff, and the agencies that I was going for, while the work I know is technically good because it's been used by one of the biggest dance music brands in the world, I know that it's good, but it's just not relevant to what they wanted, so they couldn't see the technical aspects of it.
That's creating in that area is so important if you want to work in that area.
Yeah. So you just have to kind of suck it up and be like, go do a free job or something.
Yeah, and I think free work is a great touch point, because I think that's how, one, you network with other people, it's how you network with creatives, two, it's how you get the access to. There's a massive stigma around working for free.
There is.
And I think rightfully so. I think that, you know, I don't want my time to be free, but if you're trying to elevate and put yourself in a situation, then getting the access by working for next to nothing or free or travel or expenses is so important.
I think the distinction is, if somebody puts a post saying looking for a student or someone to build a portfolio or who wants exposure, that's bullshit. But if you're the creator and you offer your services for free, that's a totally different matter.
You're trying to move into an area, you're trying to create something because that's what you want to make, and that's that burning desire. You'll do anything to do that. Even
if you're a company that don't have a lot of money, or you're just starting out, or you're a cheap bastard and you don't want to pay that much, make it obvious in your advert, because somebody, if you say literally, don't have a lot of money for this project, this is my rates, I understand that it's not a lot, and you give that transparency from the start, you will get somebody willing to do it. But obviously don't expect Nolan to turn up on set with an IMAX camera either, but somebody out there will be like, that's a great jumping off point for me, I believe I could do this really good, and it's also going to be good, I'll get paid a couple of quid for it as well, belting. If there was that level of transparency, then we wouldn't have people kind of like hiring people for 300 quid and not paying them because they don't have it, whereas if they said in the first place, my budget's only 50 quid, you know what I mean?
It's being upfront, it's being honest, and I think it's a testament to good people. Like, if you've got great people, you've got to be upfront and honest with people. Do you know, if you want to do something and you've put an advert out there, those people, it's almost back to that, the AI topic's the same thing. Like, I don't want to work with those people. And like, that's the red flags. And I think it's for younger creatives, it's knowing that, like, actually, maybe I should stay away from that, because it's not going to benefit me. Two, the client's potentially going to ask for like 10 revisions, and that's not worth your time. I would have rather just worked for free at that point.
Yeah, of course. It's a jungle out there, you know, it can be, especially when you got people wanting the best for the least amount of money. And unfortunately, there are creatives like up and comers or people who have maybe lost the step and wanting to kind of get back into it. They're taking these jobs that they are probably underselling themselves for, and
the bar's so high though as well with work.
But again, it's about managing expectations, and that becomes a skill in and of itself, doesn't it? So like somebody who's been doing it for 15 years, like myself, who might not, there are kids out there, like there was a guy in America called Gibson Hazard, right, and he was well ahead of his time, even like 10 years ago. He was using After Effects and filming for like there were just these crazy, like beyond anything in my comprehension that could do. Do you know what I mean? And he was just like kind of just starting out. But now that might be beyond my skill set. But the one thing that I've got is the experience of working with. I can tell a problem client a mile off. I know that I can quote effectively for a job based off how long it's going to take and bit of human element and whatnot. And those are skills that you literally, if you come straight out of uni, even you could be most talented, if you don't have those, you're going to get taken for a walk by a few people.
I think people skills are a huge thing.
Yeah,
especially in like to have an open conversation with somebody and be truly honest, and you're not bending somebody, but like to have a conversation with it and set someone's reality and expectation before you start working or producing for them, I think is a skill in its own right. You say it's something that only real world experience can get you.
You can't teach it because nobody can teach you the feeling of chasing an invoice for 6 months, right, and getting told yes, and then getting frustrated and getting angry and crying because you can't pay your rent this month. You can't teach that in a uni, unfortunately, and that is one of the things in this game where you're like, these are the actual realities of it.
Realising that client's going to be like that is like, okay, well, I don't want to work with you. I don't want that working. Sometimes, again, smoke and mirrors, sometimes that's masked. Yeah. So you think, oh, this person's a really good person. And along that, it could be a long list of things. It could be a marketing manager's got issues, a financial department, or there's a long list of issues that it could be, but it's utilising and realising that person or that company is a good company.
I worked for a platform as a freelancer, and I got amazing experiences out of it. I got to travel, it was fantastic. But when it came to getting paid, I would be like, hello, I submitted this invoice 60 days ago. Do you know when I will receive this, please? You'll get it when we get it.
At that point, like, the experience is not even worth it.
I'm like, okay, thank you.
But like, you want to stay because you know, like, the potential of where it's going and where you're going to get to, like the experiences.
And I'm not gonna lie, mate, it made me look like a fucking G online, like at the time. And then that's a big part of it, is because the optics to other people, I think he's got it going on. I'll hire him. He's working for X.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it comes back to that all the time, doesn't it? And this was yeah, it was I was never even like mithering about it. Do you know what I mean? I guess it must be that this person was getting it in the neck from loads of different people, and I was like, okay, whatever.
You are right though. It's like not taking somebody at face value, I guess, but it doesn't make you feel appreciated as a creative. Like, and that's my biggest thing. I want my art to feel appreciated, and if not, then I feel like personally attacked. So people skills, learning how to manage that. I'm still learning how to manage that. But definitely people skills, because it sounds like you managed it quite well, to be honest with you. Even though your heart was sinking inside, you probably managed it quite well.
Because to be honest with you, I loved it, and like, again, I feel like my past industry, there's an element to it where I'm quite bitter about, and I've got no problem admitting that, because I was kind of like in the top percentile of what we did. Not the best, but I was actually performing at that level for a while. And then it kind of like dried up, and a lot of things did happen at once, and when I just got disillusioned with it a little bit. So yeah, that was the unfortunate, really. And I do look back on it fondly, but also there was a few things about it I'm thinking maybe that wasn't right.
Experiences, that's what you're looking at.
Experiences, yeah.
You did it. You got the t-shirt. You might visit again soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep the passport open. Yeah,
my passport has seen some miles. Let me tell you that. But yeah, I think that's what it all comes down to. This game is experiences, and people. You can be the most enthusiastic, straight out of uni, full of life, full of vigour, and you're thinking you're going to get paid £500-600 a shoot straight away. That might happen once or twice for somebody who doesn't know any different, if you work with a big corporation. But if you're trying to build a portfolio, it's just not the reality, I don't think.
I think you build to it, and I think it's up to you to guide your work and where you want to be, and you do that through experiences, whether you get a monetary gain for that or knowledge gain from that. I think that's the two ways you approach it. Certainly don't underprice yourself or outprice yourself with jobs. And especially in the north, I think we're really fair up here in terms of like pricing. I know certainly my freelance figure is a lot lower than some people that I know of, and that's not a testament to like how bad or good my work is. That's just like what I'm comfortable charging. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you are right. I think it's you walk, if you talk the talk, you walk the walk, and by doing that, you need the body of work to say that.
Comes back.
How you get that body of work is.
The thing is when I used to like run my own events or like hire freelancers and stuff, the first thing I would do obviously is be like, send us your work over, this and that, and I'd kind of know straight away. I mean, the first message is always kind of prim, proper, whatever. I get that, like it's a business transaction to begin with, but I would only ever like hire somebody who I know I could be like bounce ideas off, they'd be receptive to me, like, and be sound with, and like, I know everybody, not everybody works like I do, right? But if I say, are you free on this date, and then like the company cancels and you've had no business, like you've had no dealings with the company, it's all been kind of through me, and we're still 2 weeks away, and you go like, I want a cancellation fee. I'm like, bro, no, you didn't tell me there's a cancellation fee. You can't just put things on, like, like adding,
I think that's
like adding stipulations and whatnot.
It's finding your tribe at that point.
Yeah.
If you can find a tribe and a group of people that you work well with, that you haven't got to put NDAs in, you haven't got to put like a pre-shoot fee in it, you haven't got to write up a contract with it, then that's your tribe.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I guess what you're saying is,
I've never used a contract. Never once, mate.
I have, because if not, I've been stuck in the.
I should have done a few times.
I've said it to younger creatives I've worked with. I'm like, are you contracted for this? And they've been like, no, I was just trying it by word of mouth. And I'm like, yeah, but like, don't get stung, because you only get stung once with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you get in like your 60 days payment terms, like if you get stung with it and don't get paid,
I think there might be like a basic one that you should use, but I was just so ready to go and enthusiastic, and I like to see the best in everybody. And because I was working with a person, not corporate, because even though it's technically a business, but I would never like. It's not like, for instance, I mean, obviously I did eventually doing work for like Adidas and other companies like that, and they asked you for these in advance, and it's like, yeah, that's proper, you know what I mean? You set up as a vendor, all that, cool. But when I was working with like small scale events, I was like, yeah, man, we're both boys, we're loving each other.
Yeah, there's a beauty in gorilla.
Yeah,
there's a beauty in gorilla.
And then it turns out they were just knobs and stuff, and that's happened a few times. I was like, damn, maybe
it's time to
start
contracting people.
Yeah.
But I think you're a solid lad, and this makes like no difference. But I need you to sign this bit of paper that says, if you don't pay me in time, I'm gonna take you to court.
It's awkward, isn't it, as well? Like, but
I think that, and you learn that from a person. You learn that, like tribal, and you learn that, like the way that me and Matt work together. Like with when we first met, we were like, well, like, can we work on this together? And like, no one's signing anything. Like, your boys. You know what I mean, you get that vibe from people. But I think that vibe comes from experience.
We're all going to want, a little bit of recognition for your work is the bare minimum, isn't it? So if you're giving your time for free on a project, but it's got great viral potential, or like almost like potential, like, real world application to make you a better filmmaker, or it could be up for like an award.
Or the area that you want to work in.
Yeah, you want to work in. Then yeah, brilliant.
It's almost like when we do recces, like location recces. It's like you're almost like recceing the people as well at the same time. Like, oh, yeah, okay, he's a good fella. But again, that can also be smoke, mirrors and cross, because then you can meet good people and you think, oh, actually, he's not very nice.
Yeah, but then again, that's why I never judge. Right, I've got this saying, right, that if 50 people call you a wanker, the chances are you're a wanker, right? But if it's a couple of people saying it, then I like to give people a chance. Do you know what I mean? But again, if the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, yeah, I guess that's right. True. I used to think I had that superpower of being like,
Oh, we all like to think that.
Yeah, like bullshit radar. Like
Yeah.
I honestly,
I pride myself on it.
Yeah, I'm like, my bullshit radar is going off here, and I'm like, is anybody else's radar going off? Like, no, yeah, like that's. My
mum's the worst.
I think that's my superpower. It's probably definitely not.
No, definitely, but it's still. But again, it just comes down to experience, being long in the tooth, and the older you get, the more experience you get. Like it just comes with time. You do your 10,000 hours, and you do become an expert. You might not be like the doctors have different opinions. You know what I mean? That's why you get a second opinion. So you can be an expert in something, but it still be completely different knowledge set to kind of someone else. Like, I do consider myself quite versed in what I do, and it only ever comes out when someone asks me a question and I can just say it like that, and I'm like, oh shit, I actually kind of do know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Oh, I don't know. That university degree wasn't wasted. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I think it's collaboration, not competition. And that's the best way that I can describe the way that Sheffield makes me feel, and the way that other creatives like this and, working with other creatives in Sheffield makes me feel, is that like it's always fundamentally, it's always a collective group of people and a collaboration, not competition.
Remember that, folks. It's not a competition, and it never should be. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, undercutting people and snaking people and messaging people's clients is not cool, right? Like, it's just let the clients come to you, or message the clients that you know that you're. If you know the creative, don't message their clients, in my opinion, just because it's like that. If you message them and you give them a cheaper rate, you're taking bread off that person's table, and there is a lot of work out there, right? And if you're good enough, you'll find it. I mean, I get it is a competitive industry, but
everybody can eat. And I used the pie analogy earlier. It's like, I only need one slice of pie, brother. Like, I would rather other people in my tribe have that pie too.
Well, I can tell that because we're having a back and forth conversation, and you're allowing me to speak and I'm allowing you to speak, and we're both adding to each other's points, and that is just a great indicator of the fact that we're both trying to work together on this podcast and not like
you're not like opposing.
We're not talking over each other.
Do you know something that's even funnier? I think from that is that when you message me, or like the James messaged me on Instagram, like I messaged Matt and was like, Matt, like, do you mind if like I go on the podcast?
Oh.
And he was like, well, what do you mean? Why are you asking me? I was like, well, but like we did the project with you at the James, like, and it's your client and like your connect. I was like, do you mind? He was like, bro, like, just do it.
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, cool. Like, but I think that's so funny.
Yeah,
that,
it is funny. Yeah, exactly.
That's the way that I think it should be approached. Like,
of course, yeah, because I would much rather have the reputation of somebody who goes, oh, he messaged me the other day asking me if it was all right. I'd rather have that reputation of a just in case.
Yeah, you don't. You don't want to be that person, do you?
No.
Yeah.
No. But here we are. Ash, it has been a pleasure, mate, honestly.
A hot one.
Yeah, it is a hot one, definitely, without the wings.
That's your next James thing.
Yeah, because it's just about taking people's other content, sticking it online.
Hell, isn't that all that we're doing again?
Everything's just a remix of everything else, isn't it? But, mate, thank you. Appreciate it. I think it was very insightful, and it was so natural. I literally didn't write anything down for this, and we've been talking for over an hour, so that is obviously a good sign. But we've both kind of had a lot to say on the topic, so spot on, mate.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Sweaty
Thank you very
hands,
much. Sweaty hands. Worst handshake ever, though.